Yo people, we start the video unfortunately in this manner. We'll get to the main bulk of the preview first, but I have to say it's a disgrace, absolute disgrace that I'm seeing the full report now. I'm recording this separately to the preview. Potter and his kids, death threats. Come on, man, come on. I know it's the minority, but if even one of you, are watching this and you don't support me or anyone that supports the club in any way, shape or form when you do something like that, if you've been part of that, because you're playing against us. You are now dehumanizing someone. You are making them an object and not a human and not a person with emotions. And I always put asterisks when I see personal issues have come into play for a player behind the scenes, if they've gone through family trouble, etc., death has happened, or anything can happen in life. And from the moment you forget that and you think that these people are not real because they're in the public eye, you've lost touch with reality. So for me, it's a disgrace. That goes without saying. 99.999% of you obviously know that. It's the minority as per usual, but yeah, have to make that abundantly clear. You're playing against us, and you're not I hate to gatekeep, but this is the moment where I will. You're not a real fan when you're doing that. You are not supporting the club at that point. You are literally doing the complete opposite. You're being, I can't even call it selfish, you're just being an absolute arsehole to the highest order, to the nth degree. Words that I won't say on YouTube because I get demonetized. So yeah, into the preview, all right? Into the preview.
Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another preview, right? This is your final preview for this game, Tottenham versus Chelsea. Big up your damn selves in the building. Lateness is great, this is always. Listen, I have to say from the top, what a week, man. And I'm saying that from a personal standpoint, like, going to the Sky Studios for the first time with my bro Sam, who used to do the previews when we used to do the lives with Maze on this channel, the live streams, if you guys will remember way back when, in the archives of the channel, expressions, brilliant preview again in person. Bro, I must say, yeah, I don't like to dwell on, what's going on, and I like to just keep working hard, keep giving you quality content, keep striving for milestones, keep striving for better, keep pumping out as much content as possible. I need to bring the FIFA. I set high standards for myself. I'm very demanding, but thank you to you guys that watch me every day and subscribe already, because without you guys I wouldn't be here. And I know it's very cliche, but it's actually facts, because it's logic. If you wasn't here, then I wouldn't be here, innit? So yeah, it's just pick up your damn selves, man. I'm very appreciative, and I need this pick me up, because we know coming into this game, it's long. It's a long day for this game. Both sets of supporters seem to be not very confident for different reasons. Tottenham because of their record coming into the game. We've done the preview of expressions. We've spoken on opposition analysis with Fuad. And then, of course, our record recently, in terms of reality and what that is for us, is not very good at the moment. We're in a long run of not winning, where the confidence is low. It's getting very toxic as well. I've spoken about the chaos amongst the fans. I've joked about it a bit on All You Can Eat Chelsea in terms of what's going on with the fan base. But also now... I feel like the toxicity just came into the room. Yo, man, where's the oxygen in the room, fam? Carbon dioxide is doing a madness. Anyway, the press conference. Well, the quotes. I mean, listen, we get our team news. We get all of the Potter quotes. I don't really watch the pressers. They're not too fun. He gives his dialogue on the team and we move on. But this is getting toxic now. He's saying that he's receiving death threats, his family as well, talking about dealing with the pressure in the situation. He's speaking about, the fact that the narrative is that he doesn't care, that he's not interested, that he's not bothered. Everything that is said on socials is relayed to him in some capacity, and it seems to be translated through the press or the media. The questions are asked. Exactly what is being said around us is being put to him, and the reaction and the retorts and obviously the abuse is just ridiculous. I mean, that's just wrong, you know, and I feel for him. And this is why I don't like screaming at the top of my lungs, Potter out. And people say, oh, you're sitting on the fence. It's not that. I am disappointed, extremely annoyed, angry with last week's result. I have lost faith. I have asked for resignation and relief and peace of mind. I am, you know, very much needed to, he kind of needs to bring me back on the side. And I am worried, extremely worried. And I do think his position could become untenable if he keeps losing games. But I don't think it's all his fault. At the same time as saying that, I think as long as this run goes on and on, it will become more and more on him, because responsibility percentage-wise for me will continue to increase if he doesn't start to now more games with this team, more games with these combinations, more games with these players fit. If you don't start to turn this around and put points on the board, it will become more and more down to you, responsibility-wise, especially in-game management. With what I've watched, you know, Man United versus Barcelona, Ancelotti at Anfield, I'm seeing in-game management. You've got to bring that to the table. You've got to make those substitutions. You've got to make those changes. But it's not all 100% down to him. No, these players have to take responsibility. The board, everybody has to take responsibility. This is a team. You're in 10th as a team. Believe. Trust me, more than you can believe. And I just hope we turn it around against Tottenham, man. I'm not going to, you know, go crazy over a win against Tottenham. It's not going to be, you know, hero settings and flying the flags and, you know, whoop-de-doo, we're back, you know. No, but it would bring some relief. It would stop the bleeding. And right now, the blood is just pouring out of my body at non-stop flow. I mean, like I said, I was just choking a minute ago. I'm suffering. You're suffering. I'm suffering. Everybody is suffering. And I feel like just a pause button would be lovely this weekend. Can we stop the suffering? And a draw isn't really going to do that. I have to be so honest. It's another must. It's a win. You have to get wins on this board. And a win to Tottenham, away to Tottenham is needed. We have a great record there. We've never lost there. Also, last year, we slapped them up 3 times in quick succession in 2 weeks. The team is starting to come back to fitness. I think it's only Pulisic, you know, Aspilicueta, of course, had that, you know, massive concussion in the last game. Armando Broja, Kante, Mendy. Those are the players that are out. But apart from that, everybody else, and it is a 34-man squad, so it is a lot of people available in your Zakarias, and maybe bringing some balance into the midfield. How many minutes can he accumulate? We don't know. Medical will decide that. Reece James, Chilwell, the players that were rested against Southampton, and there was a lot of rest days this week. Those rest days have got to count for something. If you take rest days, and I know you're probably thinking, what does he know? He doesn't go gym. I used to. Before I became, you know, matchsticks. What did he call me? Glasses with... matchstick with glasses or something, expressions. So before I was this thin man, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna go back soon. I know I keep saying it, but I will go back. I used to go to the gym regularly, and when you have your rest days, you're meant to respond with better days. You're meant to respond with madness in the gym. You know, you're meant to tear it up. You're meant to rip up everything in that gym and go to the max. And that is exactly what I'm expecting in this Tottenham game. You've had your rest. You've had 2-3 days off this week. And maybe it's needed from a mental capacity. I'm not taking these rest days as a negative, because I think it's easy to say that, you know, we keep losing, so get them in, you know, get them working hard, shout at them, scream at them, get them going through the tactics, get them... Maybe, but maybe they actually need to switch off. Maybe they really do need to switch off. He spoke about preseason. Again, I'm not going to go crazy about that. I agree. I think the preseason was poor. I don't think he was aiming shots at Tuchel whatsoever. I think the preseason was poor. I think we traveled too much. We went to Charlotte. We went to Los Angeles. We went to here, there, everywhere. We played games. We was catching flights. It was not a preseason camp of, you know, stability. It wasn't in one place, maybe 1-2 cities close by, focusing on the training, focusing on the matches, focusing on the preparation. It was very much like a tour. It was, you know, Todd Bowie's new shiny toy. We've, you know, he's bought a club. He wants to parade it around. He wants to go on a tour, like as if we're some sort of singer, like we're some sort of dance act. You know what I'm saying? Wants to do a world tour, American tour. Well, you know, East Coast to West Coast, that will take its toll on the player. So I don't disagree. Maybe that plays a part as to why we got off to a slow start under Tuchel. Who knows? But that preseason, as I was watching it in live timing, as we got slapped up to Arsenal, it was poor. So I agree with that. But there's always context. But you must, you know, no matter what's happened in the past, no matter how difficult the job is, you must. Because as I said a couple of days ago, you must find a way in tough times to find results. You know, if I'm going through it personally, but I know that on YouTube, you guys are needing that content, I could take a break. And sometimes it's okay to take breaks, but also sometimes it's also necessary to put your foot down and say, no, I'm going to plow through this. I'm not feeling it today. I'm feeling a little unwell, feeling a little sickly. I have a little cough, as you saw me choking to death at the start of this show. But no, we must deliver. We must put out the content. We must entertain. We must analyze. We must give you what you come for. And that is the simple fact of the matter. Consistency is key. Right now, we don't have that unless you're talking about from a downward trajectory. And we must, guys, win this game. Every single game is a must win. It's as simple as that. Now, it doesn't get easier than what happened last week. I don't know if I can be more angry than I was last week. We're going to find out if we fuck around and find out this weekend. But this is Tottenham away, and you know that away support. I mean, listen, for me, going into the kind of the teams and the tactics of the situation, I'd love to see the box. I'd love to see the box midfield, similar to what you see for Barcelona when Gavi and Pedri is fit. You have them at the top of the box, pressing, trying to, you know, get in between the half spaces, trying to win the ball back. Brighton have done that before. Arsenal did it at Tottenham as well, in the away fixture when they travelled to Tottenham, with Xhaka and Odegaard and Zinchenko and Partey, overloaded and over-roaming and destroying that two-man double pivot midfield. And I want us to do exactly the same. I feel like Zakaria, Enzo as the, you know, the bottom of the box, and then Felix and Sterling, who's just coming in off the left. You know, he can be out on the left and he can just come inside and just double up and overload. It's either 2v3 or it's 2v4. Do you know what I mean? But for me, options are there. Sterling's very good at picking up the ball in the half spaces anyway and turning. If he's allowed that space, whether Emerson Royale comes in and follows him or he doesn't, Chilwell's got the license to move like Balde and bomb forward. So Madueke versus Perisic on the right. If he plays, that's going to be a tough task for the Croatian. 34 years old, I believe, up against a young player who is constantly winning his duels in terms of his constantly successful dribbles and take-ons and, you know, beating his man. And that final pass will hopefully come. He's still very young. Havertz, for me, goes up front because he's got that relationship and chemistry with Felix, and obviously Fofana still raw, as we saw from the last game, as we knew, as I said, you know, he would be. He's young. It's going to take a lot of time. Massive jump up from the Norwegian league. It's not every day that the new shiny toy is going to just come in and smash it and blow people's minds away. Back four is very simple for me, very stationary, simple, stable. You know, Chilwell, James, Badiashile, Silva, all of these guys, Kepa. Teams starting to come back to fitness now. I feel like we can overload. We have to destroy that midfield. If we can get on the ball, whether they push up Dyer into, whether they push Kane back in there, none of them are comfortable, or they're going to leave gaps elsewhere. For me, we can take over. That's where I've seen them dominated. Time and time again, they've been destroyed in that area. We saw Maddison in the Leicester game as well do exactly that. We have to take advantage of that situation for me, because that's how they're going to go. They're going to go 3-4-3. And then obviously the front three, Harry Kane, he's got to be dealt with. Funnily enough, their strikers, as we said with Fuad on the opposition analysis, their strikers and our defence is our strength, and their strength and the defence for them and our attack is the weaknesses for both teams. So it doubles up quite nicely. It's going to be very intriguing to see. Something's got to give. But for me, we have to win this game. Like I said, when you drop points to Southampton, you're at a deficit. You owe the bank money. If you owe me 80 quid and you give me back 20, you still owe me 60 quid. You're still at a deficit. Don't come and ask for praise and shining lights because you gave me 20. That doesn't make you in the green. That makes you still in the red. That makes you still in the bad books. And when you lose to Southampton, when you lose to the worst West Ham we've seen in God knows how long, yes, you have to start winning the games that are not favourable, that we're not particularly favourites for. No, we have to. We must. And we have to try and go there and get the win. And it's a huge game. It's a London derby. The fans will be up for it on both teams. It's going to be mad. The away section is on the lower tier and they're right in that corner. Remember the Frank Lampard celebration? Boom, boom, boom. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a big opportunity for Potter. And they said the next 3 games, opportunity to try and win the fans over. Well, this is the start of that. You got Leeds after that. Again, rivalry there. And then Dortmund. It's huge. Every single one of these games is massive. Yeah, and we have to go in with the intention and the mindset of just demolish and destroy, dispatch like Amazon package. I'm not here for nothing else. A draw is not a good result as far as I'm concerned. It's not good for them. It's not good for us. Both teams have to go out for the win. Obviously, Harry Kane is the big threat. Goes without saying. We're just going to have to just try and deal with that. Do you know what I mean? Any snapshots around and in the box, he's onto it. So we have to be on point there. But I do feel like there's enough weaknesses. We've seen Tottenham concede a truckload of goals, individual errors, the hologram in goal in Fraser Foster. Let's pam those shots on goal. Get the shots off. Start to work that keeper low in the corners. He takes too long to get down. I'm trying to see a madness. Do you know what I'm saying? Pause. So, big up your damn selves. Make sure you smash up the likes. Let me know what you think in the comments. And also on the TikTok front, we're back. We're booming. If you didn't even know he was even there in the first place, we're uploading. New admin is on point. He's not playing games. All the clips, all the funny moments from, you know, the shows in terms of, you know, we've put out 3 clips from the Expressions video yesterday. We've also got, you know, the weekly shows where there's always bants flying with Hussam, Dan Lawless. It's all going to get clipped and put on TikTok. Loads of little fun highlights there. Make sure you're following the TikTok if you're not already. The link is in the description along with all the other social medias. It's Matisse Armani as always. Big up your damn selves. I will see you for the watch along in a bit, people. Peace. Come on.